So we're going to finish up today on the 1st of November. We're going to finish up our discussion on equanimity, which, it is so important in this world right now. We're lacking so much in it, and learning how to balance in the middle of the storm is really the central point of learning equanimity. Our lives are buffered about internally and externally by all kinds of weather patterns, and weather patterns that we are subjected to simply because we are alive right now at this moment in time, and because of multiple and conflicting agendas. We seek after gain and fame and praise and pleasure, and we wish to avoid, to resist, and we react to loss, to disgrace, to blame, and to pain. This is what it means to be a human, to be in the human realm. But out of all of these pushes and pulls and conflicting agendas, we suffer. We suffer because we try to control that which is not ours to control. And because we try to control things that are not ours to control, that we cannot control. Sailors have learned how to get out of the way. They learn how to get themselves out of the way and how to begin to see and feel the seas that are underneath them as they navigate unseeable currents. I find weather to be a really wonderful analogy, really, to consider best like how we respond to the storms we encounter, because you never know what to predict. We can't control the weather. The weatherman on the evening news often tries to convince us of otherwise, right? Oh, there's a 60% chance of rain tomorrow. Yes, but that also means there's a 40% chance of sunshine, right? Both are true. Both are true. It just depends on what side of the equation we're seeing, what side of the equation we habitually tend to see, right? Therefore, usually, hopefully, we don't try to fixate too much on trying to control things like the weather, right? Today is a lovely cloudy day in November, and last week we were dealing with the 70s. This is how it is in New England. When we can't predict the weather, but what we can do is we can prepare for it. We can figure out how to prepare for it. Wherever we live, we adapt. That's actually another beautiful thing about being humans, is that we learn to adapt to where we live. We figure out the weather gear we need, and we get on with our life. We learn how to adjust accordingly. We may grumble about the weather, but we tend to not try to dwell on it unless, for example, there's a special occasion we're looking forward to and it's weather permitting. But mostly we understand we have no control over the weather, right? And so there's something here to learn about not resisting. Like we can't change how things are, but we can learn how to adapt, and we can learn how to get our footing. We can learn how to stay balanced and upright, even in stormy conditions. And this is exactly what we're doing in our meditation practice. There's an African saying that says, "Calm seas do not make skillful sailors." We entrain our skills by sailing the stormy seas. We're entraining the skills of equanimity right now by living in the conditions of life that we're living in, and learning how to find our balance right here in the middle of it all. And right here, I'll even give you pause to really consider, when we think about how do we balance things out, to consider, for example, the manner with which you receive the news and how frequently you look at the news And then invite the question, how much do you need to be aware and stay aware of what's going on without sinking under the weight of it? That is learning how to find your sea legs. And that is deeply important for all of us to do right now. Equanimity is grown. It is grown in stormy conditions, not otherwise. And it is grown by being knocked off balance and learning how to come back into balance. We cannot expect ourselves to stay steady under these conditions. What we can do is start to notice when we're knocked around and then learn how to move from being off balance, pushed off balance, pulled off balance, and figure out how to right the ship. And understand that the righting of this ship, it is not a steady state, ever a steady state. It is a dynamic stillness. It is a dynamic middleness that we are going for. And we want to feel for that. Feel for when we're pulled off. Feel for the dynamic middleness. That's what's really happening. And we want to encourage our hearts to do this. We want to encourage the heart back here, because the more balanced we are, the better we will be able to see what's going on more clearly. If I'm knocked off balance, I'm going to be looking from an off balance position. The more I can right the ship and begin to look, I can start to see more clearly. So this being off balance, this being knocked around, that's going to happen thousands of times in the course of a day. Now, that also means that there are thousands of opportunities for you to figure out how to do this. Recognize that we are in the ideal circumstances of life, being pulled and pushed around by storms, that we have the opportunity to learn in those conditions how to right the ship, how to balance it out, how to keep orienting toward non-harm and goodwill, orienting in that direction. We'll get pulled off, but how quickly can we notice? Can we restabilize and reattune to the North Star of non-harm and goodwill? This is what equanimity is all about. And this is so what we need right now as we try to navigate what's really happening before our very eyes. So the encouragement is, do not see it a problem that you're getting knocked around. See it as an opportunity. Let yourself practice. Appreciate all of the times that you remember to restabilize and that you begin to feel what this feels like, so that we can keep orienting back toward the middleness of the experience. That's easier for all of us. It's a kinder position for us to be in internally, and we have a better chance to offer something more skillfully externally, moving from that place. Okay? So perhaps I'll just suggest that we have a light touch and we play with finding our sea legs. All right, we feel for the not too tight, the not too loose, the relaxed, alert posture of carrying attention. Relaxed, alert posture of carrying attention. We can do this. We can do this, and we can encourage each other to keep learning how to navigate the seas, becoming good sailors. Okay? So, thank you for your kind attention. And let's practice with equanimity in our meditation practice today, okay? With kind eyes, with a warm heart, turn the attention to the body, to the physical form, and open it up. Create some room. Breathe in as you open and stretch it out. stretch it long, stretch it wide. As you're getting adjusted, maybe really try to open up the head and the neck and soften the neck by dropping it down, dropping the head down toward the chest area, and letting the head hang there and taking a few deeper than usual inhalations, opening up the whole back of the neck and under the occiput of the head. And on the exhalation, just keep allowing gravity to pull and open up the back of the neck and let the head just hang there. Feel the sinking and settling down of the torso into the base of the body, onto the chair, or the cushion, or the floor. Maybe right here, closing the eyes and really feeling into the whole of the body as it sits here. And if the head is still hanging down, slowly raise the head back up till the chin is parallel with the shoulders. Maybe just opening up the jaw a little bit and maybe roll the jaw around. Making some nice long inhalations, nice long exhalations, and opening up the jaw, the face. Feel the opening of the torso, chest. And on the exhalation, sinking and settling all the way down through the torso into the base onto the ground. If you will, take the next few cycles of breathing and keep the attention at the base of the body, where the body meets the cushion, meets the ground. Feel how the weight sinks and settles down at the end of the exhalation. And how the wind opens and fills the whole of the interior on the inhalation. And now, if you will, imagine that this whole body of yours is a mountain on Mother Earth. And your mountain is sitting amidst many mountains right now on the earth, a whole mountain range. And this mountain of yours just sits among all the other mountains, moment after moment, day after day, experiencing all kinds of weather. Breathing in, noticing the winds blowing in, moving through, moving around, the curves and the jagged edges of that mountain of yours. And at the exhalation, the wind rushes out, passes through, and the weight of the mountain itself sinks and settles more deeply and fully, spreading on the land below it. And as it sits here, there is a noticing of the changes of the landscape from season to season. As the wind subtly shifts in smells from sweet to even sweeter, from warm to crisp, from strong to gentle. From wet to dry, dry heat, dry cold, dry. And on the inhalation, it receives the air. And on the exhalation, it releases its weight into the earth underneath. That is its nature. And people may come to see the mountain, to scale the mountain. They may comment on its beauty. Notice if it's a good day or not. Too cloudy, too rainy, too foggy, too dark. None of this matters to the mountain. For the mountain remains at all times itself. Clouds come and go. People come and go. But the mountain's magnificence, its beauty, remain untouched. Whether it's seen or not, whether it's sunny or cloudy, boiling or frigid, the mountain's magnificence and beauty remain. Rest here. Breathing, the air rushes up and in, filling all of the nooks and crannies of the body. And on the exhalation, the body sinks and settles down like a mountain on the earth, letting go and yielding all of the tension onto the ground underneath. This is its nature. Once more, breathing in, opening and lengthening and expanding the whole of the interior, and exhaling, softening, widening, and settling all the way down through the torso of this mountain into the base, spreading onto the ground beneath. And feeling the majesty and beauty of this particular mountain on this particular day in this particular moment, sitting amongst a range of mountains. And breathing with and in and through the wholeness of that experience, just as it is. This is equanimity practice. Thank you all for your kind attention and your practice today.